Jessica Miller was wrapped in the arm of Oscar winner Jason Smith, her silky long hair falling onto his chest. She lifted her beautiful face, but her eyes were fixed on me. Jason leaned in and kissed her lips. "Come on, don't tease her. Jessica's shy," he said with a chuckle. Jessica leaned toward his ear and whispered something with a flirtatious smile. The crowd cheered, calling them a perfect match made in heaven. Jessica was the heiress of the Fung City elite. I'd seen countless men trying to get close to her. As long as someone matched her taste, she never said no. But Jason was the first she brought to a class reunion. He obviously knew how special he was to Jessica, something I, her so-called boyfriend, could never compete with. Everyone here knew about my relationship with Jessica. Still, they all sided with her. She'd always been a wild spirit. One of her friends once told me, "Luke Dawson, that's just how Jessica is. Cut her some slack. You're the one she truly loves." Amid the laughter in the private room, only Carlos beside me was fuming. He pushed past the others and snapped at Jessica. "Jessica, what are you doing? What does Luke mean to you? Just someone to be humiliated?" The room fell silent. All eyes turned to me. Jessica gave a lazy smirk. "Luke, you're here? Sorry, too many people, I didn't see you. Everyone knows what we are, right?" Just two strangers stuck in an arranged engagement. Her words made the room erupt in laughter, and murmurs filled the air. "Exactly," someone chimed in. "Jessica's way past liking Luke. I mean, look at their families now. But credit where it's due, he's got patience. Not many guys could take what he does. Jessica's had more flings than we can count, and he never said a word." Carlos was shaking with anger. "Don't forget, Jessica. You were the one who chased after Luke. You said he was your dream guy." Jessica turned to me with a teasing smile. "Did I? Maybe. But I never said he was the only one." Another burst of laughter. The tightness in my chest slowly faded. Jessica's face blurred in front of me. Turns out, falling out of love takes time. Salting the wound again and again. "Jessica, you have no idea how tired I am." Everyone has a dream. When Jessica was 18, she said I was hers. The first time I met her was at a welcome party when we were 10. My dad had just opened a branch in Fung City. Her dad and mine were old friends, and their whole family came to greet us. Jessica back then was beautiful and untamable. She broke several of my model toys. I was furious. She saw I was genuinely angry and got flustered. Then she poked my cheek and said, "Hey, you look even uglier when you're mad." I ignored her for a week, but she didn't give up. She chased after me for half a month, buying a bunch of robots to cheer me up. One day after school, a chubby kid from next door pushed me, and I scraped my leg. Jessica smashed a rock on him. She pinned him down and shouted, "Listen up, Luke is mine to mess with. You touch him again, and I'll make you regret it." From behind, her slender figure looked like it glowed. She turned back and frowned. "Luke, be my little sidekick. I'll protect you from now on." Afraid I'd be bullied again, she pestered Uncle Tony to transfer her to my school. To make it easier, she just moved into my house. Those days were the best. Seeing her and my dad chatting and laughing on the couch always made my heart feel warm. The girl I loved also loved the people I loved. What more could I ask for? But now, those memories feel forever out of reach. By high school, tomboy Jessica had grown out her silky black hair. Her slim figure caught all the boys' attention when she cheered courtside. But she turned down every drink and gift with a smile and said, "I only drink the water Luke buys." The crowd whistled and teased. I just put on my earbuds and kept working through my test paper. I had no time to figure out what she was thinking. Jessica was brilliant. She never paid attention in class, yet still scored high. I had to work hard just to keep up. She always called me dumb and told me to give up. Every family only needed one genius. She once got scolded badly for refusing Uncle Tony's offer to study abroad. She was crying her eyes out, but still managed a goofy smile at me. After the college entrance exams, her score beat mine by a lot, but she insisted on going to the same university. I asked her why. Jessica looked at me with a sparkle in her eyes and said, "Guess, Luke. I'll give you a prize if you get it right." I shook my head. "No idea." She sighed, chasing after me as always, calling me dumb. After graduation, our class went on a 3-day trip. I promised her mom I'd look after her. Jessica was over the moon, sticking close to me the entire time. Late at night, everyone had a little to drink. Jessica didn't touch a drop. She half carried my drunk self back to the guest house. I mumbled for her to go. I needed a shower. Jessica said nothing. As I got up to push her out, I was already taller than her. I grabbed her wrist easily. But Jessica suddenly shut the door and stood in front of me. I looked down at her, and she stood on tiptoe and kissed me. The alcohol in my system started to wear off. She smiled and kissed my cheek again. I pulled her hand away. Jessica, what are you doing? You're a girl. This time, Jessica pressed her lips to mine. It was a soft, trembling kiss. I could feel her breath, fast and burning. I froze. I couldn't help but smile. This arrogant girl was actually scared. Before I could say anything, she turned and ran out the door. That girl really got shy. That night she posted on her story, "I touched my dream." Everyone thought she'd fallen for someone, but I knew exactly what she meant. That touch wasn't about meeting someone, it was literal. 3 days into our first semester, a senior confessed to me on the track field. Jessica smiled and told the girl, "You know, it's not cool to confess to someone else's boyfriend, right?" Then she dragged me away and pushed me onto a bench. She leaned in and kissed me, asking softly why I was alone with that girl. She said I should just date her instead, like she wouldn't stop until I agreed. Later, Carlos joked that he saw Jessica kissing me, blushing like crazy. After that, we secretly started dating. Jessica sighed, saying it's not like she was some shameful secret. I never knew how to explain it to her. My dad adored Jessica, but he once said he wanted a daughter like her, not a daughter-in-law. He told me to keep my distance. I didn't understand back then what the difference was. In the second year of our relationship, Jessica's father committed suicide after discovering her mother's affair and her attempt to transfer company assets. I stayed by Jessica's side as she sobbed until she lost her voice. She clung to me and said, "Luke, you're all I have left. Please don't leave me." My heart ached as I cupped her face and replied, "Jessica, unless you push me away, I'll never leave you." But we never expected that the man her mother had an affair with was my father. When my mom found out, she divorced him immediately and moved abroad. Jessica and I crashed their wedding together and got thrown out by security. With teary eyes, she looked at me and said, "Luke, I'll make them pay." I didn't know then I'd be part of the price she'd make them pay. After that, Jessica practically disappeared from campus. She buried herself in the Miller Corporation. In 4 years, she turned it into the top family business in Fung City. No one knew what she went through. Meanwhile, my father was constantly under pressure. Dawson Corp was on the verge of collapse. But Jessica didn't see it that way. Though she never officially broke up with me, she changed completely. Any man who could be useful, she didn't push them away. I knew she had sacrificed a lot to build the Miller empire, including herself. I blamed myself for being powerless. I did think about breaking up, just so she wouldn't keep hurting herself. But she was Jessica, the same girl who once valued me more than herself. The one who gave up her inheritance just to stay by my side in China. We'd lived side by side for so long, I thought I knew her better than anyone. I believed that if I had enough patience, she would come back. But I was wrong. Maybe she got used to it, acting turned into something real, and soon she didn't even try to hide it. While I could only stay silent, completely helpless. I considered breaking up, hoping she could find peace. If I was only bringing her pain, then maybe leaving was the best thing. I made up my mind to talk to her. But that night, as soon as I stepped into the house, I saw clothes scattered on the floor, and Jessica asleep on our chosen wedding bed, in the arms of the Anderson heir. I said I wanted to break up. She threatened me using the company I'd just started. She said, "Luke, no one but me would dare marry you. If you marry someone else, I'll bury your company in Dawson Corp with you." I went quiet. I'd started that company with Carlos. He sold his house and put everything into it. We worked so hard to get this far. It wasn't on the same level as the Millers, but we had made a name for ourselves. And besides, torturing me had become Jessica's latest pastime. There was a period where she was heavily medicated, but after she turned her focus to me, she stopped the meds. Then she started popping up in entertainment gossip with all kinds of men. Caught kissing a top celebrity on the street. Spotted at a hotel with some CEO. Snapped hugging a pretty boy in a car. When the photos went public, all she said was, "It's all a misunderstanding." I have a fiancé. Jessica did it all on purpose. She hated my father for taking her mother, for pushing her father to death. She hated that our family moved to Feng City. She hated that she moved into my home from me, giving them countless chances. It wasn't just my father she hated. As his only son, I had to bear the consequences too. I snapped back to reality in that lavish private room. Everyone was watching me, waiting for my reaction. Jessica lazily said, "Luke, you don't mind, do you?" It was a line she'd fed the media countless times. Luke's generous, he won't mind. Then she leaned in, bit Jason on the neck, and looked at me without flinching. Carlos muttered, "Shameless." I grabbed his arm and shook my head. I looked back at Jessica and, just as she wanted, smiled. "It's fine." Jessica always does what she wants. Jessica curled her red lips. "See? I knew Luke was generous. Of course he'd say it's fine." A rich guy nearby jeered. "If I had a fiancée like Jessica, I'd be fine with it too. She's hot and loaded. Come on, it's just a game, no big deal." "President Jessica, give us a kiss." Jessica hooked her arms around Jason's neck and gave him a deep, heated kiss. Jason responded with equal passion. As the cheers echoed louder and louder, I quietly backed out of the room. My back suddenly hit something, and the pain brought tears to my eyes. A pleasant voice rang out. "Are you okay?" I looked down and saw a tall woman holding a tray. She had a doll-sized face, clear almond eyes, porcelain skin, and a few stray strands falling across her cheek, adding a subtle allure. She looked at me with a calm, unreadable expression. Though she wore a waitress uniform, there was a proud air about her. I shook my head. She frowned. "Are you crying?" I suddenly laughed. "Hey, pretty lady, I'll pay you $100,000 a month. Marry me." Carlos rushed over and pulled me back. "Luke, you're out of your mind. You can't just throw your life away over Jessica." "You can't marry a random stranger," I replied. "Jessica won't let me go otherwise. I need to leave her. It's the only way." The woman said nothing. Her eyes seemed to question if I was a complete idiot. I smiled. "I know you need money. Fake marriage, 1 year. I'll even throw in an apartment." She hesitated, then smiled with dimples forming on her cheeks. She was stunning. She leaned closer and said softly, "Fake marriage means no obligations in bed, right?" Her words caught me off guard. Before I could respond, Jessica's mocking voice rang out, "Luke, what breaking the engagement for a waitress?" I reached for the beautiful woman's hand and looked at Jessica. "Not just together, we're getting married." The moment I said it, the room gasped. Whispers filled the air. "Luke's lost it. Marrying a waitress? After all these years of putting up with Jessica, he's finally snapped. Trying to get revenge. But Jessica doesn't even care. If he'd just held out, maybe things would have turned around for him." Jessica suddenly burst into laughter. "Luke, you say you're marrying her? Fine. When? I'll come to the wedding. Go get the license tomorrow." "President Jessica will bring a gift. Just send me the bank info." Then I grabbed the woman's hand and left. Carlos followed behind. The room erupted with murmurs. "Luke's probably just throwing a tantrum. No way he's marrying some random waitress. He's just acting out." Jessica's face turned uglier by the second. She picked up a glass and hurled it to the floor. "Get out!" she yelled. Everyone bolted. Jason carefully held her. "Jessica, don't be mad. Luke's probably just joking. He'd never give you up." "No one could stop loving you." Jessica took a deep breath and looked at him. "You're right. There's no way Luke's marrying her. He's just looking for an out. Let him play his games." After Carlos and I got home, I asked the woman for her name. She said it was Jennifer. What she didn't know was that this was actually the 3rd time I'd seen her. First in high school, then in college, and tonight was the 3rd. But for her, this was probably our first meeting. The next day, I took Jennifer to get our marriage certificate. When I posted it on my story, I used a photo of us that morning on the balcony. She was wearing a nightgown I had once bought for Jessica, but Jessica thought it was ugly and never wore it. Jessica was in the middle of a heated kiss with Jason when her assistant called. She picked up impatiently. Carlos's assistant spoke nervously. President Jessica, Luke really married that waitress. Jessica froze, then scoffed confidently. Impossible! I know Luke! He wouldn't dare marry someone else. It's true. They registered this morning. Luke just posted it online. Judging by the photo, that waitress stayed at his place last night. Jessica was stunned, her hand trembling slightly. After a deep breath, she said, "Go check right now. Luke must be faking it to get to me." The assistant cautiously replied, "President Jessica, we already confirmed with the registry office. They really got married." "Impossible," Jessica roared. "What the hell are you all doing? Wasn't someone following Luke? How did you let him marry someone else? A bunch of useless idiots." "President Jessica, you said last night at the party you'd attend if Luke got married, so the bodyguards didn't think much of it when he went to register." Jessica, furious, smashed her phone. Jason tried to hug her from behind. "Jessica, don't be mad. Luke's just acting out. He'll come back in a few days." Jessica glared at him and screamed, "Get out, Jason, get out!" She wrecked the room in a rage. Jason ran off in panic. After calming down, she looked at the photo of Luke on her nightstand. It was from when he started college, wearing a white shirt, tall and lean, smiling so beautifully. "Luke, you think this'll make me let you go? Dream on, you're mine." After the wedding, I took Jennifer to buy a ring. The clerk kept complimenting us. "Sir, ma'am, this is our custom design, only one pair in the world, symbolizing eternal love. The sizes fit you two perfectly, like they were made just for you." I looked at the ring and asked Jennifer if she liked it. She smiled. "Anything's fine. Don't spend too much." I glanced at the ring in my hand and remembered I had come here with Jessica before. She liked this style, but the size was too small for her, so we ended up ordering a new one. Some things really do feel like fate. "All right, this one," I said, handing over my card. Jennifer leaned in. "Luke, how much is this ring?" 300,000. 300,000? Jennifer looked surprised. "That's insane. How many tables would I have to serve to earn that?" "Don't worry. Now that you've married me, you don't have to serve tables anymore. But if you want to work, go for it. Or study, or open a shop. I'll support you." Jennifer smiled in disbelief. "Luke, this is just a deal between strangers. Aren't you being too nice to me?" "Not at all. My wife deserves the best in the world." The clerk handed back my card. I helped Jennifer put on the ring. She grabbed my hand for a picture. "We actually look pretty good together." Just then, Emily walked in, feigning surprise. Emily was one of Jessica's flunkies, who'd mocked me more than once by using Jessica's name. "Well, look who it is, Luke." "What, Jessica dumped you, so now you've stooped to marrying a waitress?" I stepped in front of Jennifer and looked at Emily Carter coolly. "My life's none of your business. You should spend your time brown-nosing Jessica. Maybe she'll toss a few projects your way." "Luke, who the hell do you think you're talking to? What makes you so arrogant? You're just a stray mutt who doesn't even bark. You endured all that shit just to get dumped and end up with a waitress? Pathetic." I frowned, but Jennifer stepped forward, opened her bottled water, and poured it right over Emily's head. The whole room gasped. Emily's bodyguards stepped up. I pulled Jennifer behind me and punched each of them once. Emily shrieked. "Luke, you bastard! You'll regret this!" I sneered. "Emily, you're just from the Carter family, a lapdog at Jessica's side. Don't think you can throw your weight around. You messed with the wrong person. This is your lesson. Next time you insult my wife, your family's projects won't go so smoothly." I'd been in the industry long enough. Maybe I wasn't Jessica level, but crushing the Carter family? Piece of cake. Maybe I'd held back too long beside Jessica. People really thought I didn't have a temper. Emily clenched her teeth but didn't dare talk back. I took Jennifer and left. Outside, Jennifer looked at me and said, "What? You think I was too aggressive?" "No," I said. That was getting off easy. I just can't stand her smug face. I nodded. I'd heard plenty of awful things over the years. I could take it. But I wouldn't let anyone bully Jennifer. She agreed to this fake marriage to help me out. If she had to suffer for it too, that wouldn't be fair. Jennifer looked at me hesitantly. I touched my cheek. "What is it?" "Luke, I actually know all about you and Jessica. You probably don't remember me, but I saw you two back in high school." I was surprised. Really? I vaguely remembered Jennifer as a loner from the neighboring class, someone who didn't seem to care about anything. I never thought she'd notice Jessica and me. I was all about studying, but everyone was gossiping about you two. The whole class was in on it. It got noisy, but over time, I kind of found your drama entertaining. I burst out laughing. Pretty accurate. All that gossip used to drive me crazy. Only difference is I never found it funny. Jennifer suddenly looked serious. Luke, honestly, you two were kind of a shame. Her words made my eyes sting. I turned my head casually. There's nothing to regret anymore. Life is just a string of choices. Jessica made hers, and now it's time for me to make mine. I handed Jennifer a set of keys. This is your apartment. It's right next to mine, fully paid. A year of living expenses has already been transferred to your card. If you need anything else, just say the word. That's more than enough. Thank you, Luke. But can you take me to an amusement park? An amusement park? Yeah, I've never been to one. Will you go with me tomorrow? Sure. When we got home, Jennifer started unpacking the small things she'd bought and arranged them in her room. I lived in a large suite with 2 bedrooms after renovation. Jennifer moved into the room next to mine. It didn't take long before she turned it into a cozy pink haven. I leaned against her door and asked, Jennifer, do you have any family I should meet? Huh? She paused while arranging her cute figurines. Nope, just me. I eat alone, no one else to feed. I nodded and went back to my room. Not long after, I got a call from Assistant Wong at my company. Jessica was now competing with us for a plot of land. It's fine. Let her have it. But Mr. Luke, that plot is crucial for the company. If we let Jessica win it, our entire strategy will fall apart. She's determined to get it, and we don't have the capital to fight her. Last month, the Andersons were nearly bankrupted after Jessica forced them into debt. Why don't you try negotiating a takeover? Mr. Luke, you mean to openly oppose Jessica? This isn't about sides. It's just business. Handle it quietly. Don't let anyone else in the company know for now. But the Andersons might not even take us seriously. I've met Mr. Anderson. He's a man of principle who's worked hard for years. I don't think he wants to go bankrupt. Just talk to him. After Amir hung up, I heard a knock at the door. Luke, I ordered some barbecue. Want to eat together? I'll pass. But I'm watching a horror movie and I'm kinda scared. Will you stay with me? Sitting in the living room, I finally saw what it meant to be bad with horror movies, yet love watching them. Jennifer sat on the carpet in a spaghetti-strap nightgown, eating barbecue with one hand and half squinting at the screen. Every scary scene sent her scrambling toward me. Her soft hand slipped under me, and I quickly caught her wrist. Realizing what she'd done, she blushed deeply. Sorry, I was just really scared. I laughed. Good thing I've seen you like this before, or I might think you were into me. Jennifer scooted away a bit. I just wrote down a bunch of things I want to do. This is number 3. A lot of things you want to try? Yup, time's short. I've got to make it count. I leaned in and held out my hand. Grab me. I'll watch with you. Jennifer hesitated, but the creepy music kicked in on the TV, and she clutched my arm immediately. My phone buzzed. I looked down to see a message from Jessica. Luke, have you messed around enough yet? If you're done, I'll give you the land. Stop using that woman to piss me off. I have my limits. Come to the villa now. I'm waiting. I ignored it. A few minutes later, she sent another one. No one else is here. Luke, this is your last chance. I turned off the screen. After all this time, Jessica still didn't understand me. I could stay by her side through her lowest points, tolerate her tantrums, but now that she'd succeeded and made it to the top, if I chose to leave, I wouldn't look back. I put my phone down and saw Jennifer asleep against my arm. I turned off the TV. I scooped Jennifer up and carried her to her room. Just as I tucked her in, I noticed she was clinging to my shirt. Jennifer, I need to go back to my room. She opened her eyes pitifully. Luke, that movie really scared me. Can you stay with me? I glanced around the room. Can I sleep on the window seat? No, too far. Sleep here. Jennifer shifted over. Don't worry. I won't take advantage of you. I laughed at that. I'm a grown man. What's there to be afraid of? Then I lay down beside her. Jennifer turned her back to me, her body stiff against mine. Jennifer, are you really that scared? She let out a tiny hum. Suddenly, my phone rang, the sound jarring in the darkness. Jennifer yelped and dove into my arms, holding me tightly. Her body was soft and faintly scented, very different from the perfume Jessica used. Sorry, forgot to turn it off. I picked up the phone and saw it was Jessica. Figuring it was better to make things clear once and for all, I answered. Her angry voice burst through. Luke, are you really doing this? Jessica, we already said everything at the party. Who you're with is none of my business. Who I marry isn't yours to manage. Luke, it was all an act, okay? I'm sorry about that night. Jason's a big name. I couldn't embarrass him in public. What about me then? Jessica, am I the one who's supposed to be insulted and stay quiet? Don't be ridiculous. You're my fiancé. Everyone knows I'll only ever marry you. I suddenly felt speechless. Jessica's entire worldview was now miles away from mine. No need, Jessica. I'm married now. I have a wife. Jennifer lay quietly on my chest, listening. I shifted slightly. Jennifer let out a soft moan. Jessica's voice rose. Luke, are you getting back at me? Did you let that woman sleep in our bed? Did you touch her? I chuckled. She's not that woman. She's my wife. Jennifer and I are legally married. Whatever we do is our business, not yours. Luke, we never broke up. You can't do this. Jessica's voice cracked, like she was losing her grip. All right then, let me make it official. We're done. No more ties. Let's pretend we never knew each other. Luke, you'll regret this, she shouted. I didn't let her finish, I hung up. Jennifer looked up at me. Did I cause trouble? No. It's not your fault. Get some sleep. Jennifer nodded and naturally curled up in my arms. She slept soundly. I, on the other hand, didn't sleep a wink, hanging on by willpower alone, afraid I'd cross a line in my half-dream state. The next day, Jennifer dragged my dark-circled self to the amusement park. First thing inside, she bought us matching outfits. She was all smiles, taking pictures everywhere. Nothing like the aloof girl I thought I knew. I couldn't help but feel bad for her. Back in high school, there were rumors that Jennifer was an orphan from the countryside, living with distant relatives. It might have been true after all. I went on tons of rides with her. As the sky darkened, she reluctantly agreed to go home. On the way back, she said her legs felt like jelly. I told her to hop on, I'd carry her. She was light, and it reminded me of how Jessica used to cling to me, especially when I was on the phone or busy. She'd ask me to carry her, then giggle and kiss me. My eyes dimmed. Those distant memories were starting to blur. I couldn't even picture her face anymore. Luke, I think you're great. I don't get why Jessica didn't treasure you, I smiled bitterly. That's just you! She had movie stars and CEOs chasing her guys way better than me. Says who? I'd never go for those flashy losers. Do you know them? Huh? No, not really. Just met a lot of people like that while waitressing. I shook my head. Jennifer was still too naive. Jessica had already seen a bigger, better world. I just wasn't important to her anymore. When we got back to the car, I set Jennifer down and we climbed in. Luke, thanks for today. You're the first person to do this kind of thing with me. When I'm rich, I'll repay you. She looked so cute, I couldn't help teasing her. All right, I'll wait. We both laughed. Just as I was about to start the car, a violent crash shook us. I instinctively shielded Jennifer. Then I heard the roar of an engine and saw Jessica sitting in her car, the front end completely wrecked. Her eyes were cold and locked onto mine. I helped Jennifer out of the car, checked her injuries first, then walked toward Jessica. Jessica, could you stop being so childish? You're the CEO of Miller Group. Don't you care about your own life? Jessica stepped out, looked me in the eyes, and said clearly, Luke, I told you, you can't marry anyone else. Then she threw some documents at me. The land contract I'd been working on, and my company's financials. I laughed. Jessica, none of this matters to me anymore. I'm a person, not your toy. Suddenly, Jessica's eyes turned red as she stepped closer. Luke, I'm hurt. Her voice was small, no longer arrogant or overbearing. The shift caught me off guard. Luke, please don't ignore me. I know I messed up. I'm sorry. I swear I'll never bring anyone else home again. She no longer looked like a high and mighty CEO. Her pretty eyes shimmered with tears, her forehead bruised and bloodied. I looked at the gash on her forehead and sighed. You need to go to the hospital, or it'll scar. Jessica tugged on my sleeve. Luke, I want you to take me. I froze as she leaned in and hugged me. Luke, you said you'd never leave me, remember? We promised to always be there for each other. I stood stiff as a board. Jennifer stood not far away. She forced a smile. Luke, I'm fine. Take her to the hospital. She turned around and waved at me without looking back. That cool, casual gesture felt wrong. Even though she was smiling, something told me Jennifer wasn't happy. I pushed Jessica away. Sorry, my wife is hurt. I need to take her to the hospital. And Jessica, I did promise to stay with you unless you gave me up. And you did. Jessica tried to grab me again, but I rushed to Jennifer and took her hand. That's when I saw the sadness in her eyes. Her gaze was wet, and as soon as I touched her, she buried her face in my chest. Luke, what are you doing? I just didn't want you to see me like that, Jennifer whimpered, tears falling. Jennifer, are you stupid? You think I'd leave my wife to take care of someone else? Jessica turned pale at my words. Luke, even if I make your company go bankrupt, would you still choose her over me? Jessica, the company belongs to Carlos. I cashed out my shares a long time ago. Besides, threats won't get you anywhere, I said as I walked Jennifer past her and got into the car. Once inside, Jennifer was so moved she could barely speak. Luke, I think I might be falling for you. I pretended to be serious. Jennifer, aren't you falling a little too fast? Nope. I noticed you in high school, learned about you in college, and started liking you after graduation. Doesn't sound that fast to me. Jennifer said it innocently. I hit the brakes. What did you say? Luke, I said I've liked you for a long time. I just wanted to see when you'd finally snap out of it, Jennifer sighed. Luckily, the wait wasn't too long. Her words made my heart race. To be loved patiently and fiercely, even after seeing my lowest points, maybe I was worth it after all. I wanted to take Jennifer to the hospital for a full checkup, but she insisted she was fine and just wanted to go home. After a shower, she came into my room. Her eyes were intense and nervous. Luke, we're married. The wedding night is tradition, you know. That night, things happened naturally. We slept straight through till the afternoon, until Carlos's call woke me up. Luke, bad news. Jessica's made a public statement. Anyone who works with us is her enemy. All our deals just fell through. What do we do? Carlos, don't panic. I already sent Amir to talk to Anderson Corp. If we can acquire them, we'll stay afloat a while longer. I'll figure out how to pull in investors. Anderson Corp, right. Jessica nearly ruined them. They won't be afraid of her. Two scrappy underdogs can hold out together. Luke, promise me this. Don't give in to Jessica. I've made my money back. Worst case, we move and start over. I've had enough of her. Someone will knock her down eventually. Jennifer chuckled nearby. Carlos was stunned. Luke, are you still with that girl? Don't tell me it's become real. It has. Come by for dinner sometime. I hung up and turned to Jennifer. What are you laughing at? Jennifer stifled her laugh. Nothing. Just thinking Carlos is right. Jessica's too full of herself. There's always someone better out there. And I soon found out how right Jennifer was. Within a day, Carlos got investment from the Yan family, a top capital group from the capital. He called me 5 times to confirm the contract wasn't fake. I checked it was real. I'd heard they were Jessica's original investors. No idea what happened between them. Maybe they fell out. I heard Jessica was furious. She was in a meeting planning how to crush my company and force me to surrender. The moment she heard the news, she smashed her entire office, fired a bunch of staff, and blamed them for not doing their jobs. After that, her company was besieged with issues. She disappeared from my sight for nearly 2 months. When I finally saw her again, she was pale, fragile, and crying. Luke, I really know I was wrong. Please forgive me. Let's go abroad. I don't care about the past anymore. Let's start over. I stepped back. President Jessica, please show some respect. My wife's at home. Jennifer walked in wearing a spaghetti-strap dress, munching on sunflower seeds. Luke, we have a guest. Shouldn't you invite her in? I smiled. No need, honey. She's leaving. Jessica snapped. Luke, what does she have that I don't? Even if my company goes under, I'm still 100 times better than this orphan waitress. I frowned. Jessica, watch your mouth. Jennifer's eyes widened. Babe, who said I'm an orphan? Jessica sneered. Back in high school, everyone knew. You were a stray, freeloading off distant relatives until they kicked you out. Jennifer sighed dramatically. Wow, with imagination like that, you should write novels. President Jessica, now that your company's gone, maybe writing could be your next career. Oh, wait, my bad. I shouldn't say that. I'd hate for real writers to feel insulted. Jessica, shaking with rage, tried to hit Jennifer. I stepped in and pushed her away. Jessica, leave. If you ever touch my wife again, I won't be so polite. Jessica stared at me in shock, tears welling up. Her voice trembled. Luke, you pushed me for her? If I don't protect my wife and child, should I protect you? A stranger? Jessica's face turned pale in disbelief. You said what? She's pregnant? I looked at Jennifer and gently touched her belly. Babe, let's go inside. It's windy out here. Jessica looked like she was about to lose it, when suddenly more than a dozen bodyguards arrived at the door, all carrying luxurious health supplements. Both Jessica and I were stunned. The bodyguards lined up neatly and bowed to Jennifer. Young miss, these are the supplements sent by the master. Jessica was in shock. Young miss? She rushed to check the labels on the boxes. This is the exclusive seal of the Yan family in the capital. No way. You can't be... Jennifer lazily waved for the bodyguards to put everything down. What's impossible? Haven't you ever seen someone try out a normal life? You're just a minor business in a small town like Feng City. And yet you dared act so pompously. This is a first for me. I should really thank you. A man as amazing as Luke and you let him go. If you prefer chasing after trophies and trash, then go ahead. We wish you joy, respect, and hope you stay stuck there forever. Jessica was trembling with rage, her mind unhinged, screaming in denial. Luke, don't forget. You betrayed me. Your family destroyed mine. You can't treat me like this. I looked at Jessica calmly. Jessica, maybe you forgot what you once told me. We were both victims. But later on, you built your happiness on my suffering. Remember, I owe you nothing. Jessica snapped and lunged at me, but was restrained by the bodyguards and dragged out. After she left, I took a deep breath and turned to Jennifer with mock seriousness. Jennifer, you're the heiress of the Yan family in the capital? Jennifer looked at me cautiously. Please don't be mad. I've been meaning to tell you. But when you thought I was an orphan and looked so sweet, feeling bad for me, I couldn't resist. Her voice trailed off as she studied my expression. I sighed. I'm not mad. I don't blame you. It's just I still feel bad about your past. Didn't expect this at all. Jennifer happily kissed me. Great. As long as hubby's not mad. So, was it you who helped our company out? Of course. I mean, marriages come with dowries. This one's just a bit big. She giggled. Not too much though, right? Haha. So, were you the one who bankrupted Jessica's company too? Nope. That was my dad. He only invested in her because he admired her ruthlessness. But then she colluded with other companies and leaked our company's info. Plus, because of me, my dad just lifted a finger and... I see. Jennifer, when you said you've liked me for a long time, was that true? Of course. Hubby, I'll spend my whole life answering that question. Jennifer, epilogue. My name's Jennifer. Lately, my biggest problem is being too rich. My dad forces me to spend money every day starting at 1,000,000 yuan. I'm exhausted. I really envy kids from regular families. So on my 16th birthday, I made a wish to go experience normal life. I promised my dad I'd come back to inherit the company once I was done. When he heard I was finally interested in the business, he was overjoyed. So he sent me to Feng City, not far from the capital, with beautiful mountains and rivers. After transferring schools, I told everyone I came from the countryside and lived with distant relatives. I was terrified. Classmates would come visit Dad's house was way too luxurious, easy to blow my cover. He insisted I stay there too, said otherwise he'd think I was suffering. You get it, right? Turns out, the moment my classmates heard I was from the countryside and living with distant relatives, most didn't want to hang out with me. I thought they were pretty ignorant and boring too. The plan was to stay one semester. I was going to head home for summer break. But one night after study hall, it started pouring and I had no umbrella. I stood at the gate, and this tall, clean-cut boy came over. Didn't say a word, just handed me his umbrella and ran off. I'd seen handsome guys before, but never anyone so clean-looking and attractive. The next day I learned his name was Luke. He had a childhood sweetheart named Jessica. Their story was the talk of the school. I used to nap on my desk, but secretly eavesdropped on my deskmates gossiping. I kept wondering how their story would end. It was like being addicted to a novel. I had to know how it finished. So I begged my dad to let me stay longer. Dad was busy at the time. When he saw I was genuinely studying the company remotely, he let me stay. He was always worried I'd run away from taking over. So, with the determination to finish this gossip story, I stayed in Feng City. Luke and Jennifer even ended up at the same school. The drama never stopped after they got together. I never expected Luke to be so deeply in love. No matter how Jessica tormented him, he wouldn't break up. I couldn't understand that kind of masochistic love. It made me uncomfortable just watching. So I decided to return to the company. But I kept following Luke's story. From photos and videos, I learned little things like how beautiful his hands were, how calm and handsome he looked when he wasn't talking, and how his eyes held only Jessica. After graduation, he and his friend Carlos started a small company. Everyone mocked them. Luke never explained himself. Every night people insulted him. He just kept working overtime. Such a strange man. Then one day I heard Jessica would bring an actor to a party, and Luke would be there too. I disguised myself as a waitress just to watch the drama. The manager asked why someone as pretty as me would work for such low pay. I blurted out that I needed money, lots of it. Luke happened to overhear. He paused, then walked into the private room. What followed was drama Jessica kissing the actor. I bumped into Luke by accident, and he proposed to me. God knows I really felt something in that moment. My heart skipped a beat. The crush I'd buried sprouted fully. On the outside, I stayed cool. After we married, Luke was truly wonderful to me. Every time I got close, I worried I couldn't hold back. So I set up a horror movie night and asked him to sleep beside me. He didn't even flinch. I started wondering if I just wasn't attractive. Thank goodness Jessica helped me out. Eventually, I got Luke. Watching Jessica try to destroy his company, how could I allow that? Bully, my husband, Jennifer's man, I'll bankrupt you in seconds. Why wait 2 months? Because I needed her busy so I could make a baby. When my dad found out I was expecting, he was thrilled. He nearly named the baby already. Anyway, I've got to go. Luke's out of the shower and I need sleep. Tomorrow, I'm taking him to meet my dad. After all, the story between me and Luke is still just beginning, and I'll spend the rest of my life writing it.